Hello there, Breakfast Club, and welcome to Monday's edition on Tuesday with Got That Funk. I know I'm a bit late, and I'm sorry about that. As it turns out, I'm traveling at the moment. I'm in America, in California, in my hometown Santa Rosa, where it's a beautiful sunny morning. And yeah, it turns out my mom hasn't got Wi-Fi in her house anymore. I didn't know that before I got here. So it's going to make uploading a little bit tricky for me. I've come here to the park to record, and then I'm going to go have a cup of hot chocolate at Starbucks to upload this on their free Wi-Fi. And it looks like that's going to be the way I have to do my uploads and everything else I do on the internet for the next 2 weeks, which is kind of a hassle, but there you go. Anyway, so I've been here now for approximately 36 hours, give or take, and I've already had a little bit of an argument with my mom. Now, here's the thing. What most people on the Breakfast Club probably don't know, but some of my long-term subscribers on my own channel will know this. I come from a conservative family, politically conservative family, and my mom has voted Republican like her entire life up until 2016, and but it's not so much about being a Republican. It's about the sort of conservative mindset that my family seems to share, all except for me and my brother. And anyway, so I was just watching CNN to get sort of caught up on the fake news and see what it's, if it's really as bad as, it seems to be on the internet from abroad. And I was watching a clip of an interview with White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, who was saying with a perfectly straight face that Robert E. Lee, the general for the Confederacy in the Civil War 160 years ago, or whatever it was, 155 years ago, that he was an honorable man. And so this was on the caption on the TV, and he was saying the same thing out loud. And my mom walks past and she goes, "Robert E. Lee was an honorable man," like that. And I spit out my Apple Jacks, and I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Yeah, he was an honorable man." And I'm like, and how is that relevant to anybody alive today? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that Robert E. Lee was an honorable person, whatever that's supposed to mean in the context of war. I'm not so sure, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that he was an honorable person. How is that in any way relevant to anyone alive today? George W. Bush seems to be a likable, nice person as a man, but he's a fucking war criminal. Okay, he started an illegal war, killed thousands of civilians, hundreds of thousands of civilians. He initiated a torture regime and a rendition where we're exporting prisoners to other countries to be tortured. And he started Guantanamo Bay, which is still there, an illegal prison. So in what sense does it matter that George W. Bush is a nice guy? It doesn't matter. Fucking Hitler was a vegetarian, for Christ's sake, and he purportedly liked children. Does that mean it's okay? Who gives a fuck if he was a nice guy? Robert E. Lee led an insurrection against the government. At best, that's treason. I can't believe anybody can look at someone who commits treason and leads an insurrection and says, "Oh yeah, but he was a nice guy, so we should honor him." What? You don't erect statues to people because they were nice people. The fucking countryside would be littered with statues if that was the case, because you know what? Most people are generally decent. Generally. I don't know. I find it interesting that people want to lionize figures from history for their own. Again, it just sort of fits into their own narrative about who's good and who's bad. Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. Basically, this is good guy bad guy mentality, and it doesn't really serve any useful purpose. If someone, an individual, wants to revere Robert E. Lee for him being a nice person, and somehow disassociate that with the fact that he led an insurrection against the federal government to maintain the institution of slavery, you want to overlook that fact, that's your prerogative. But I think it's ignorant. I don't think it serves any useful purpose, and I think it damages the future. But what do you think? I'd like to hear your comments and suggestions about further video topics in the comment section below. And I look forward to hearing what all of you have to say. I will be back on The Breakfast Club next Monday. Again, it might be a little bit late, but now that I know what I'm dealing with, hopefully it won't be. I hopefully can get it all done ahead of time and so forth. But thanks again for watching, and may all your ups and downs be ups.